All right, we are live. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Fallout New Vegas. Last time, when we left off, we were still inside the sink, still in the process of chatting with and debriefing with the think tank. Well, not debriefing, briefing, I guess is a better word. Mainly in the process of exhausting all their dialogue and passing all the various skill checks that are associated with it. We've got 3 left to talk to before we actually get out into Big Mountain and start exploring. Good morning, Lewis. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. How about yourself? Good morning, Infinimora. Good morning, John. Great to see both of you, as always. Thank you for being here, my friends. Alright. Perfect. Alright, let's talk with Dr. 8 next. He should be right here. Oh, what was that? Your voice module got damaged, I heard, in an attack. That, is too bad, or good, or something. Can I ask you some questions? Your damaged voice module. Can you tell me about the attack? Morning, Nyron. I didn't catch that. Maybe part of the damage. Who are you? Sounds important, I think. Good morning, Vex. Great to see you. Do you know anything about Dr. Mobius or the Forbidden Zone? Alright. Just calm down. Didn't mean to alarm you. Can you tell me about these technologies Klein wants? You sound agitated, or you're percolating, or something. Science 75. Wait, after listening a bit, that's Robcode Termlink Protocol you're broadcasting, right? I'm just full of surprises. Nice pun on the header file, ref. I agree. If someone would take the time, you're more than just sound effects in a tank. Science 75. If that's Robco Termlink Protocol, doesn't that mean it can be hacked? It'll only take a second to violate your rights and make your voice mine. If that's Termlink code, don't worry, I'm not going to take advantage of your exposed code. Not a problem. I know what it's like to be experimented on. About when I first arrived, tell me you didn't sonjaculate into my sonic emitter. Well, there had to be some other way to fire it up. Can we at least talk it over next time? Now that we know each other better, can you tell me about the sonic emitter? Lewis, I really liked Prey. The various places where I heard that it was a lot like System Shock 2 were correct. It hit all of those beats in a really good way. I had a lot of fun in the first few hours. Really? Huh. Yeah, I understood that part already. Well, really? Huh. Let's go with that one. Higgs Village? Can you point it out on my Pip-Boy? So your house is there? So there's an emitter code in your house in Higgs? Oh, 2 codes. One for the jukebox and one for the opera. Nice. I'll keep an eye out. I'll be going now. Alright, Dr. Boris is next. Aren't actually any checks with him.
The lobotomite animal before me. What other terrifying terrors will plague us in our quest for knowledge? Communists? Communist animals, perhaps? Be warned. Attempt to propaganda me. I will shriek as a frightened babe, calling loyal cyber dogs to my aid. Do you comprehend, commie animal?
Animal? Did you just call me an animal?
Yes, animal. Hormones, pores, glands, all wrapped up in skin. Who knows what terrifying secrets lie beneath your epidermis? Scalpels shall tell us your secrets, even if we must cut deep for such knowledge. I was head of my biology class at American High, you know.
Yes, Lewis, it is a lot like System Shock 2, at least in the first few hours. It hit all those beats for me. Who are you? What do you do here?
Before you is the brain of Dr. Boros, head of animology, beastology, and DNA scrambling technology here at Big Mountain. I lay the bones and hearts of animals bare beneath my searing gaze, especially the dogs. I did so love dogs once. Especially Gabe, that rascal. But there are many animals to shape. Industrious cazadors, the happy-go-lucky night stalkers. They are my living, breathing DNA test tubes.
You are responsible for cazadors?
Indeed. Docile, curious, safe, sterile. They are contained here at Big Mountain to preserve DNA and for observation.
What makes you think they haven't escaped?
Because Big Mountain safety measures are far more sophisticated than their primitive animal instincts. We are their lords and masters.
Contained at Big Mountain? Those things are all over the Mojave.
No, such creatures are found only here, for research purposes. They would no more be capable of escape than breeding.
I don't think they're sterile. They breed all right.
I cannot expect a lobotomite to understand the careful surgical castrating procedures used in their creation. Perhaps a demonstration of my castrating power would settle your doubts.
Go ahead, you might make me more fertile or impregnate me.
Impregnate you? What? Do you want to make me vomit inside my tank? The mere notion makes the edges of my biomed gel crystallize into asymmetrical patterns.
You don't seem to have a grasp on your own research.
Nonsense! That is what you speak. Nonsense from beyond. I was at the top of my high school class in American high school. I knew facts. I knew figures. I knew data. We would know if our research was flawed. It is not. We never contradict ourselves, so do not even try.
Alright, when did you create cazadors?
In 2000, let's see, carry the 3, then count backwards from the Great Static, or beyond. There were the tarantula debates, and something about hawks, which made it around 2003, May, Tuesday. It was definitely Tuesday. Why are we even debating this? What you ask is of no importance. Mobius besieges us. There are more important things to worry about than data and facts.
I want to know more about Mobius in the Forbidden Zone.
The malignant tumor that is Mobius plagues us all. His hunger for power, insatiable. From his lair in the Forbidden Zone, his terrifying Robo-Scorpion army clicks and whirs across the crater of Big Mountain, ever seeking, ever stinging. He must be stopped, or all of Big Mountain shall be destroyed.
Night Stalkers, those crazy coyote snake things? No, that's alright, trust me.
Oh, that's too bad. Perhaps we can perform a sterility castration some other time then.
I had other questions. Oh, hold on. I wanted to do, You don't seem to have a grasp on your own research. So Night Stalkers were created for what purpose, then?
To preserve Coyote. No, wait. The snake DNA was important because the snakes with the rattles were dying out and... Or maybe it was a bet from Callus in X8. He had some mountain lion, eagle, condor idea. Bet you can't breed this, he said. Showed him. Then it spliced itself into a coyote, a snake thing, which was eventually successful. Kept that DNA where it belonged. Spliced. Why? What?
Tell me about this radar fence around the crater.
The radar fence protects us all. If evidence is correct, the one who built it is me. It keeps anything with a disembodied brain inside, like us, and anything without a brain also inside. It is the ultimate defense against communist aggression. There'll be no infectious ideas on my watch.
The fence, that fence doesn't make much sense to me.
It makes perfect sense. Who are you to question the mighty radar fence? Ever since my anxiety-filled days of powerlessness and being bullied in American high school, I have dreamed of such security as the fence. That and giant cybernetic dogs that would ruthlessly patrol and kill anyone who wasn't my friend, like Richie Marcus and Betsy Bright. Who's laughing now, Betsy? I hope you and Richie are happy smoking in your radioactive coffins. I'm glad you never came to my birthday party.
Don't you want to leave here?
No! Beyond is death, despite mounting evidence to the contrary. No matter where these strange humans wander in from with their ideas and new brains, there is nothing beyond Big Mountain.
Evidence to the contrary?
Enough! Stop filling my precious brain cell units with irrelevant data. You sound like the other visitors, making wild claims of a world beyond, where there is a war beyond war. It is unproven and unthinkable. Bother the other doctors with your crackpot theories. I have no time. None of us do.
Why does Klein want these particular technologies?
There is logic and purpose in it. If these technologies are needed to pierce the Forbidden Zone, so be it. Science is powerful, and in the right hands, our hands, if we had hands, we would be nigh unstoppable.
Can you tell me about the Big Mountain?
It is our home, threatened by the horrors of Mobius. All we wish to do is continue our research. layer upon layer, above and beneath the floor of the crater, until we have our answers. But no, Mobius will not let us rest, scaring us with his scary robots with their laser tails and blowing up all the time.
Oh, Nyron, you're playing Fallout 2 and you're having trouble? Lewis is right. Fallout 1 is easier and it gets you used to all the gameplay systems. Why have you leveled this place?
It was not our first choice of testing grounds, but we no longer have the luxuries of our test cities. Then we lost the mountain. After the explosion, we couldn't find it anymore. So the crater became our testing grounds. For science.
Test cities?
Yes. In the past, individuals would come to us, pay for technology, and if their town, community, or city was just right, we could use that city as a controlled experiment. Vault-Tec was much better at it, of course. We had to make do. Get permission. Sometimes. If only we could have used commie cities. But capturing whole cities was hard, so we captured enough commies to make cities of our own. So we had a group of Chinese prisoners to experiment on. Those were the days. But the true test was science on unsuspecting Americans. Whether it was holograms, new autodocs, toxins, vending machines, we wound them up, let them go into tiny, isolated towns. Then we observed.
That's dark, man. What was this explosion?
Boom! Yes, quite unexpected and embarrassing. All better now after the landscaping, though. Much more pleasing to our monitors. And the crater helps keep everything inside, because it is bowl-shaped.
Never mind, we've spoken enough.
So, until next time, then. Provided there is a next time. For any of us.
I think I actually missed one speech check with Dr. 8, so I'm gonna see if I can get it right quick. Good to see you too, 8. Any new discoveries today? I wanted to ask you some questions. Oh, so one of the visitors didn't damage it, he reprogrammed it. Speech 50. I know what it means to be attacked without warning. Trust me, 8. Alright. Fine. Can we move on? Okay. That's it. Last is Dr. Klein. Go ahead and finish looting around down here first.
Name from some language that's almost impossible to speak. What did we speak about? Melancholy fellow. Had questions about history, but our conversation got interrupted. Twice, I believe. Once when the trains got derailed, and then a second time. Oddly enough, now that I'm accessing my databanks, I don't recall what the second time was. Mobius's incessant transmissions keep distracting me. Also, we didn't brain scrub the visitor. He may have left with some knowledge he shouldn't have. I believe, maybe. Oh well, I'm sure it's of no consequence. I don't make many mistakes in calculation or perception, so probability favors me.
You seem like the one in charge. You are?
I am Dr. Klein, Chief Head Researcher of Logistical Operations and Ideology here at Big Mountain. I am surprised you have not heard of me. I am first in my field, first chair, as it were, back in the days of chairs.
Who is Dr. Mobius?
Dr. Mobius was not the horrifying creature you saw upon the screen, twisted by science. He was once one of us, a friend. He researched in directions contrary to the think tank. Brains, 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 always about the brains. So we exiled him. He says he left of his own volition, but that was to save him the embarrassment. Now he sends his intelligence-consuming scorpions from the Forbidden Zone to plunder the secrets of Big Mountain. He is a menace.
Science 25. These mechanical robo-scorpions consume intelligence. Are you certain of your findings?
Dr. O is certain of his findings, and no one else in the think tank is willing to test the results. Loss of brainial power. Terrifying. O has said on many occasions his inability to comprehend Mobius's robo-schematics is because of repeated robo-scorpion stings.
Why do I have this strange passive sensation in here?
It's a side effect of the cerebral scrubbing. It won't stop you from excreting, or asking questions, apparently. Have to correct that next time. Hormonal aggressive tendencies are actively suppressed, however. They are a no-no and not permitted in the think tank. The scrubbing also ensures your silence to keep Big Mountain safe. This facility is top secret, and you cannot speak of it to anyone outside of Big Mountain. Should have done it with the last batch, and the anti-aggression scrub.
Why the anti-aggression programming?
We had to take precautions after the last visitors. They caused a great deal of damage in a short time. Should have made sure they couldn't mention Big Mountain once they left. An oversight.
Who were these visitors?
Dr. 8 and Dr. O could tell you more. Dr. O more than 8. The battle against the visitors damaged 8's voice module. Suffice to say, those visitors are unwelcome. They stole a great many secrets and much technology. Impertinent. They also broke one of my trains.
What is this place?
This is the think tank. The nerve center of Big Mountain. The greatest research center known to man, and to us. Here we test and test and test some more in the name of science. Atomic power, nuclear power, and scientific power.
Hi, G-Sol. Great to see you, for a few minutes at least. I've heard this place called the Big Empty.
Yes, because the intellectually challenged see an M and a T next to each other and take Occam's razor to it. While you are here, you will refer to this place properly, and you will do the same with the other scientists here.
I'd like to know about the Forbidden Zone.
That glowing red scar? That laser lobotomy canyon maze carved in the landscape as if by some child? It is Mobius's fortress. From that hemorrhoidal fissure, he sends his amazing robo-scorpions to terrify and irritate us. He always tended to the dramatic.
Can you tell me more about these pylons?
Ask Boros. I believe he knows more about the fence than any brain. Except maybe Mobius. Mobius was involved in their construction, if I recall. But he's such a hack, he probably was reading off Boros' notes and schematics.
I have some questions about this brain extraction you all performed.
Well, we didn't actually do it. We tried to clean up after, as always, but usually the autodock runs on remote. But we programmed it, or Mobius did. Still, this new wrinkle with the Tesla coils in your skull was unexpected. I mean, we predicted we'd have a breakthrough eventually, but Dala knows more. She supervised your spine peel and the heart circumcision, then dumped them both into the tanks in the sink above. Quite sanitary. Sure took her time. She always takes longer than projected with lobotomite surgeries. Not sure why.
You said before that Mobius might have my brain?
Yes. In all probable likelihoods, yes. Possibly. That it may have gone to Mobius is merely an inkling. I don't know why, but it may be something involving the surgery code. Actually, I don't know. All I know is it misplaced itself, or it floated off. They get into robots sometimes and go on a tear.
Science 35. What's this autodoc surgery code you mentioned?
Mobius's legacy code was in the old autodoc. Yes, it fried itself after your procedure, so he couldn't tell for sure. It is unfortunate. We would have benefited from knowing how the breakthrough occurred. Even if we installed another chip, the information is lost.
Medicine 75. Mobius set up the autodoc medical routine, so you think he's responsible for the post-organ dump?
Yes, always leaves back doors into things. Have to keep finding them and closing them. The autodoc is now erased of his routines. It was thorough. Only Mobius would know for sure what happened with the procedure. Perhaps. Well, and your brain, of course, it would know as well.
My brain would know?
It can communicate the procedure when we examine it. It is conceivable to trace its surgical scalpel prints once we have the brain. Might take some time, but your brain has no pain nerve to scream at us while we dissect it. Convenient. I detest screaming in my lab.
Why would Mobius want my brain?
Why does he seek our destruction? Why did he build robot scorpions with intelligence training stingers? It is because he hasn't cleaned his biogel in a long time. Clearly he's got some sort of psychological corrosion. He's mad.
Medicine 50. Robo-scorpions drain intelligence from living creatures. How? Chems?
I'm not certain. Perhaps it only affects machines. If so, you may be immune. If it is chems, then we have nothing to fear. Since we are afraid, it must not be chems, and you need not fear, which means you can test it. Logical.
Alright. That's all for now. Goodbye.
Yes, a most goodbye.
Alright, that is almost all the initial dialogue. We need to go talk to Dr. O again about the attack.
Predictable. The lobotomite specimen returns. Its purpose? Repetition. Chances of success? High.
I heard you and 8 were attacked by previous visitors.
I don't like to talk about it. 8, he can't talk about it. They fried his voice module. Something good. It wasn't all the visitors, though. Only one of them got out of control. He's the one that took control of Little Yangtze, our old human farm.
Tell me what happened.
This human, I can't believe it. He broke out of the think tank in seconds. Then he went for Yangtze, got bomb collars, and started practicing on the subjects that were still there until he got the right frequency. We were sending robots to stop him, and he was slicing and cutting through their shells with some souped-up laser gun like they were cheese paper. When he hacked into the mainframe, A tried to stop him and got fried. Me? He rerouted my processors to take control of the train network here. If you see the tunnels with the trains plowed into them, you can thank our visitor for that. He wrecked the whole place. While we were trying to keep containment on the surface, turns out he used one train to punch out a tunnel and escape. Sealed now, but...
Who were the others?
2 other human specimens. One arrived not long after the troublemaker, and the last one, not sure when he showed up. Thought the first one was going to be lobotomized in Y-17. She got out somehow. The last subject, Klein might know more. He talked to him and let him leave the think tank. Hope he knew what he was doing.
Why is that?
Klein knows things we don't. And I think he told some of those things to the last visitor. Dangerous things if they ever got out.
That's it.
Until our next scheduled audio transmission and reception, then.
Alright, now we're done talking. Let's loot the rest of the think tank. Then we'll head back up to the sink because they have activated the central personality unit now. So there's more to do up there. Activate deluxe chemistry set. Oh yeah, there appears to be enough chemical components available to create a small quantity of chems, assuming one has the knowledge to do such a thing. Let's do stim packs. Always handy. Alright, ground level's cleared out. Now we've got rooms to search here on the upper level as well. Average locked door. I'm going to grab the radiation suit because we can use it to repair our space suit. Same with the advanced radiation suit. It's always worth taking repair supplies for anything you actually use. Bunch of mentats. Bunch of mentats. There they are, when they were still human. And I'm actually running low on carry space, so... But I'd like to just push through, even if I have to, even if it means we get over encumbered, that'll be fine. I can never remember which one it is that's useless. It's scissors. Big brain pills back when they were hopefully smarter. Well, they do some pretty good environmental storytelling around here, too. I mean, you can tell that these guys popped a lot of mentats. A lot of mentats. While that raises raw intelligence, I imagine it's also somewhat responsible for the evident half-madness we see in the think tank. We got a bunch of communications gear in here. Hey, there's somebody's booze stash. I immediately like that one better, whoever it is. The sink is going to be my final home, Nyren. Not just my next one.
All we asked? If not, we will not hesitate to ask again.
Yes, Nyren, the sink is going to be both my next home and my final home. I think it's easily the best, most useful home in the game. Much better than Lucky 38, even. Empty trunk. Alright. Looks like we got 2 more rooms, then we'll head upstairs and we'll meet the Sink Central Intelligence. And we'll prepare to actually leave. Alright, we got a bunch of pre-war clothes here. If I had to guess, I'd say this is probably Dala's room. Well, the Lucky 38's got clean water, and the New Vegas Strip is a good place to get food and everything else when you need it, but it doesn't have near the utility the sink does. The sink has all the crafting stations, all literally inside the room. It's got all the little helpers. The sink central intelligence is a merchant. Not to mention you get the, what was I going to say? The hydroponic farm. You can grow all your food in there too. Well, I don't think we have clean water here yet. Not until we turn on the actual sink. So, alright, let's look at the weapons they gave us. The K9000 Cyberdog gun chews through 357 Magnum rounds, but it's fully automatic. So, you know, you think back to the Cowboy Repeater in the early game. We've got a fully automatic gun shooting that same kind of ammo. So, it's actually not a bad gun, although I'm not going to bother toting it around. The Sonic Emitter Revelation. EMP, bonus damage versus robots and power armor and critical strike paralysis. Woof woof. We look remarkably normal for being a lobotomite. I actually did miss one unique item in one of those rooms, so I gotta get back there. Let me lose some weight. We'll pick it up on our way out. Thought I was being thorough, but I missed something fairly important in one of the top rooms. I'm not actually sure which room it's in either. I think this is Boris's, because we got the high school trophies. I'm looking for Mobius's old room.
I can hear your penis-tipped feet tromping around.
Yeah, those are regular eyeglasses. Somewhere in one of these rooms, there are Dr. Mobius's glasses, which are a good, unique item we're gonna want with us. I'll be damned if I can find them, though. It's just not that obvious to me which one is Mobius's room. Oh, I guess we can go process of elimination. Might be this one, but I don't see it. That's obviously Dalla's, so we can ignore it. It could be this one. I have a feeling it's the one with all the mentats.
I can hear your penis-tipped feet tromping around.
Ah, yes. There we go. Dr. Mobius's glasses. Easy to miss. But worth finding because, as you can see, they raise intelligence by 2 just by being worn. So we can get a few extra skill points if we remember to pop them on before every level up. Alright, now let's head back upstairs to the sink. Christine's COS silenced rifle is, it's one of my endgame guns. Once we get it, it'll be with us the rest of the game. Obviously, it's not quite as powerful as the anti-mat, but 308 ammo is everywhere, and it's powerful enough to handle pretty much everything other than Deathclaws. So... Alright, back to the sink. So we don't have any extra modules yet, but we can drop off stuff at least. So this is where I'm stashing ammunition. This is where I'm stashing crafting supplies. Or other supplies, as the case may be. This is where we stash food and other goodies. Aid items. I like that there's finally enough containers to separate all that different types of stuff out, too, instead of just shoving it all into a single safe like we've been doing in Novak. Let's see. We'll just sell all this stuff. And I'm actually gonna start storing unique items in here. I'm going to keep the sonic emitter with me because I know we collect other codes for it as we go around and it's quest related. And keep Dr. Mobius's glasses with me too because they only weigh 1/4 pound and I want to put them on anytime I'm going to level up. Anything I'm keeping as repair supplies can go in here, so that'd be the radiation suits, and that's actually all. I think now we're actually ready to talk to the Central Intelligence. Sonic Emitter Revelation now available in the vendor interface.
Salutations and felicitations, sir, and a most jocund welcome to the Sync. I am your electronic valet and household central processor. May I be of service, sir?
Are you some kind of artificial intelligence?
Regrettably not, sir. All modules in this habitat are synthetic personalities atop a mundane operating system. There is no intelligence here, sir.
You mean there are other personality modules here?
Indeed, sir. Though if sir's aim is to activate them, I lament to inform, sir, that most have been offline for some years. If sir were to ask my opinion, I should venture that sir is better off without them. However, if sir is determined to inflict upon sir's self their dubious services, sir might locate backup personality disks elsewhere in the facility.
Why is that?
The other modules are rather erratic, sir. Their personality matrices are built on flawed logic and have not weathered the years well, sir.
So I can access their functions without loading the personality holotapes?
Tragically, the core operating systems are also located on the personality tapes, sir. Once the tape is installed, sir may request I switch their dialectic interfaces off, and I shall oblige with great delectation. However, sir will still be required to locate and install a backup holotape to access their functionality.
Why are there so many personality modules?
As I am given to understand, sir, this facility was once the property of a Dr. Mobius. He crafted the personality modules as part of a collection of experiments on the subject of machine-human interface. As to the reason for the unusual choices of devices to receive the modules, I cannot say.
Never mind, let me ask you something else.
Indubitably, sir.
What services do you provide?
In addition to managing the personality matrices of the other household utilities, I can provide sir with direct access to the commissary. Any goods sir might require may be purchased through my shopkeep interface, whence tiny robots shall deliver them forthwith to this very domicile.
I'd like to buy some things.
Very good, sir. If I might suggest a table wine, the 64 Atomic Claret is a lovely little vintage.
So he's got a boatload of caps. He's also the best merchant in the game. So the Sync is just far and away the best place to set up your base once you have access to it. So we'll sell that stuff. I don't think he sells anything I actually need. And
Might I be of service, sir?
I need my equipment repaired.
Very good, sir.
And you'll notice he's got repair skill 100. So there's that, too. I actually forgot that little detail, but... And look,
Might I be of service?
I forgot there were a couple of things I was going to sell as well. Oh, those are... I think the Mad Scientist scrubs are unique, so I'm going to keep those. Stash them.
Sir is looking exceptionally sharp today, if Sir will permit the compliment.
Alright, so we'll keep the sonic emitter, leave the mad scientist scrubs, and I think now I'm fully back to just my standard gear, with the exception of the sonic emitter, which I'm still not really planning on using or toting ammo for, so yeah, why am I carrying it? I don't think I actually need to carry it in order to do the quests with it. So, alright, we're finally ready to get out into Big Mountain and start exploring, and it's a very hostile place. It's annoying in the same way Honest Hearts is with the respawn rates on the lobotomites and the robo-scorpions. It can be a real hassle, so you just got to be ready for that. We've got 10 or 15 minutes left, so we can do a little exploring, get our first taste of Old World Blues combat before we end today. You have discovered the think tank. You see a bunch of stuff here. The good news is we can fast travel around here, just like we could in Zion.
Intruder, you will not escape the eyes of my robo-scorpions or their pincers.
So you can see a lobotomite down there. Unfortunately, they are hostile. I mean, I'm certainly not going to rush the story, if that's what you're wondering. I'm going to explore. I'm going to explore and just kind of do things as I go, in a systematic, check out every location we find kind of way. You know, like I usually play. What the fuck? I shot him in the head and nothing fucking happened. It happened again. That's a sneak attack critical. Not in my world, it's not. What the hell is going on? What am I hitting instead of his head? Am I hitting his weapon? Is that the problem? I cannot figure out what the deal is here. Maybe if I do this instead. I cannot for the life of me figure out what the fuck was going on there. Ah, Saturnite Fist! Here we go, boys. Increased attack speed. So, Assault Upon Wounds is currently better, but that's not going to last very long. As the first thing I'm going to do is just do a perimeter sweep of the think tank itself. There's lots of little bits of loot to find, lots of lobotomites to kill. I'll kind of get a sense of the expansion. It's not too difficult to actually explore the expansion because the layout's really simple. It's just a big crater with the think tank at the center. So a couple more. See him over there. Well, that was more like it, but Night Stalker and another lobotomite. Alright, well that's sucking. I'd like to close the gap. I don't want to let him... What I don't want to do is get chewed up and let him shoot me while I'm doing it. Are really easy to miss. It's not like they're super important, but if you're trying to be thorough like I always do, you'll want to make sure you watch low down to the ground so you don't miss them. Proton Axe is fun if you're into melee weapons. I'm not gonna bother, but... Well, I'll use Implant GRX if I run out of VATS, but I was able to murder all of them with VATS, and that's still always my first run. GRX is a backup for when I run out of VATS. Alright. Looks like that side's clear. I anticipate a lot of copyright fuckery when I try to move these videos around, because there's no way to turn the music off. Oh. was gonna say, I thought he even settled down. No, that was a reload. Not a settling.
Go!
Okay. I have to roll up on him. This is a good place to use implant, because I have to run up on this guy. Oh. Thank you. I didn't realize it would automatically connect to a radio station. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Because I never asked it to turn that radio on. A couple more lobotomites. Ooh, including another one with a Saturnite fist. Get over here, boyo. I guess he also had a gun. There's another Saturnite fist. We'll make repairs, but as you can see, it's inferior to Salt Upon Wounds' Power Fist until we go through the process to superheat it. Then it's going to become my endgame melee weapon. So that over there is the Forbidden Zone, where we'll ultimately end the expansion. You can see the red crystals and everything, like the think tank was talking about. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, I don't want to aggro anybody who's not actually up here on this platform with me, so come on. Less fuckery, please. I'll go down there and fight them when I'm ready to go explore down there. Not right now. Alright, let's pinch back in here, make sure we haven't missed any loot. We're almost done with this perimeter sweep, and honestly that's probably going to be it for this stream, but at least we're getting a little bit of combat in, a little bit of excitement after all that dialogue. Not that I mind dialogue, but I know some people get impatient. More goodies over here. More ways out and down, which will lead to other areas to explore, obviously. Lobotomite in a spacesuit. At least or a radiation suit, maybe. Nope, it's not a lobotomite, it's a Y-17 trauma override harness. These things are really interesting.
Do not approach the pylons. Pylons are the glowing things. Also, do not approach a fallen pylon. If you see a fallen pylon...
Do you see the skeleton inside? These harnesses are actually like the suit took over, became mobile. the person that was wearing the suit is long since dead, and the suit is just walking around and is the enemy. Oh. Well, that was ridiculous. Did you guys see that? They spawned in right in front of me, like... Literally as I was standing there looking at them. It's alright, though. Local spaceman finds rival spaceman. Yeah, the suits are a little freaky, I agree. I only got a fully repaired Saturnite fist. That's something. Yeah, and there's human flesh inside from the person who was wearing the suit before it took over and they died. Actually, anything up here? I don't... Oh, there is. Cool. X13 is over there. I remember it. That's a... There's lots of weird shit in this expansion, but X13 is really interesting. Weird in a good way, to be clear. This expansion is so unique. It's not phoned in at all. Very imaginative. That's X12. It's another separate location, so we'll save it for when we're ready. A few more goodies here. Get my gun back on. The good news is, we'll stay pretty well stocked on 308 ammo, both for the Gobi and then after we find it, Christine's, because a lot of the lobotomites use hunting rifles, so they'll keep us stocked. I don't think there's any loot in here. All right, and that about does it for the our perimeter sweep at the think tank, and that's gonna about do it for this morning's stream. For those of you who have been watching live on Twitch, I'd like to thank you for joining me. If you're new here and you enjoyed what you saw, I hope you will hit the follow button so you can see when we're going live. If you're watching later on YouTube, and you enjoy the video, I hope you'll click like and you'll subscribe to the channel. All the content makes it over there, and even though I use a streaming format, at least with main projects like this, I try pretty hard to make it usable as a walkthrough and cohesive from beginning to end with part numbering and everything. And finally, regardless of which platform you're on, I hope you'll consider joining our Discord. A link to the server is either in the YouTube video description or in the Twitch channel description. It's where we discuss official channel business along with lots of unofficial stuff. As far as next up, no, there aren't going to be any streams tomorrow. I have plans for the holiday with family and friends. So the next stream is going to be the regularly scheduled New Vegas stream on Thursday morning, where we'll finally begin exploring Big Mountain in earnest. So I hope to see you all for that. Thank you again for joining me, whichever platform you're on, and have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.